The word no does not make for good improv.
It's okay. I
No,
get
but
No, but. Yes, and.
yes, but
But also,
But
Loki,
yes.
why are you crying? Come here. I
because
know.
she's a baby.
She has a baby. The baby has a new Apple AirTag. She doesn't seem to hate it, so that's exciting.
Oh.
They're very nice. Very
She
nice.
hid from me for 20 minutes Friday morning. I didn't know if she was sick, if she was hurt. I kept calling for her. She fucking ignored me. Yeah, I know. I
Oh,
put down your food and you didn't come running, which was like, oh my god, is she dead somewhere? We ain't doing that again.
you're good.
Cats are dicks. I don't know how much clearer we can make it. Cats are
She's so
dicks.
cute. But she's so
They're
cute.
adorable, but they're dicks.
Anyways,
Period.
so yeah, she pushed her luck too much, and now she has an Apple AirTag. Looks cute. Her color
Well,
is nice
that's
and
what
bright pink.
happens. A little reflective bits on it.
Speaking of being tracked, welcome back, everybody.
Hi.
That actually was a good segue. That actually really
Okay,
was.
good.
You get
Hey,
to
do you guys
decide
feel like you're
whether I'm
being
kidding.
watched?
You guys get to decide whether I'm kidding or not. Um,
You're not.
He's
last
not. He's
we
absolutely not. They know we had ranch. Someone's watching us.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
last we left our heroes, we are in the city of Tremonto. This is day 2. It's only been 2 days that you've been here in Tremonto.
Damn. We will never
It's not
leave.
even full day 2 yet. It's afternoon
You're
of
like day
day 2.
1.5.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
getting
pretty much.
1.5 into this.
After spending the morning in Palazzo Goldwater, you came over here to the Centro Mercado of Tremonto, where there's a small crowd gathered in the courtyard. Bit of a protest going on with the bourgeoisie. Naruko and approached and made some friends and brought Marcus, who was surprisingly sympathetic to their plight. Um, Naruko went ahead and invited them to the wedding, or at least the lead guy, anyway. You also saw a gold dragonborn here who was talking about some clandestine meetings happening under the guise of night at the Temple of Joaquin, where only certain people should be allowed to have access to. Uh, Marcus decided he was going to go off and try his adventuring chops to try to gain some information there while you guys went shopping in the market. And shop you did. Uh, went immediately to a dress shop where you all picked out some amazingly beautiful threads, while Professor went off to go procure some other goods.
Do
Uh,
professor stuff.
do Professor stuff. As he was tuning
That's
to
it.
his new item, Sentinel Syrian pointed out, "Hey, we should get Yuki because that girl over there, pointing to a tiefling in the food court, looks like she's on drugs."
Oh my
Good
Uh,
old
god.
mousetrap.
so, uh, after with that being said, Professor met up with the rest of you at the dress shop in Tremonto. Uh, Showed off his new gadget and let you know of what him and Syrian saw. And when we left off, we were on our way to the food court to um, try to see what the deal was.
Drugs.
So,
Always drugs. So much drugs.
It's gonna be
Drugs.
hilarious if this is just like one of those hippies that just looks like they're high. It's like a Shaggy situation. It just looks they're just super chill.
Okay, don't lie. Shaggy was absolutely high.
Well, yeah, in real life, yeah, of course he was. They all heard a dog. It's fine.
Yeah.
so we're back to Tremonto. The gang is back together.
It's a robot!
Oh my.
I thought I waited long enough.
Nope. You
I
have to
Nope.
let
think
us
I think
bullshit a little longer.
I think it's that you have to wait because the music starts too. So that you either start the music earlier,
You're a robot too.
and I'm a
Yeah, Jenna's
robot.
a robot too.
Mm-hmm.
That's weird.
Not
Oh my gosh, their house got taken over by the Cybermen. Fuck.
God damn it.
Someone get Stormageddon.
gonna happen one day. Thank you, Alexa.
No, we did not. We didn't think that you liked technology. That was not on my list of concerns.
I like technology. Technology
Okay,
doesn't
it
like
doesn't
me.
like you. There it is.
But I'm very polite.
Yeah, that is important. Listen, you always say thank you and please to your technological devices.
All the time.
That way, when the robot uprising happens, they remember you're a nice one.
Exactly. I'll be put
Yeah,
in
the
the
rules.
people zoo. It's fine.
Yeah, that's cool. Give me pets and scritches. I'll put up with it a little bit.
So we're back at the market. Professor and Syrian about to lead you all to where this tiefling is sitting.
Drugs.
So if you guys would like to converse for a moment, I have to use the restroom, so I'll be right back.
All right. I am confused. Why again are we searching for more people with drugs? I thought we found the other people with drugs.
We weren't exactly looking for them, we just happened to find one.
Okay. Does
I
not
think-
answer my confusion.
If we could find the people that are on the drugs, we could help them.
How can we assist them?
Making them not on drugs anymore.
I feel like that is an oversimplification of the problem.
Yeah, unless you know something that I don't know, I'm pretty sure there's nothing out there that, like an instant magical rehab or anything.
What is a rehab?
I don't know.
Rehabilitation, getting off the sauce,
Yes, we would all like to get off the ranch sauce. How do we apply to one of these locations?
I thought it was drugs, not sauces.
I would like to get away from the sauce. Especially get it away from my apples.
He just blinks, he's like, you are all so capable as adventurers, yet you're so unworldly.
Yes.
I'm otherworldly.
Literally just been around for like 2 months.
Well, a rehabilitation is a process in which an individual undergoes to overcome the effects of addiction.
Oh,
Lots of different tactics that can be done, but I mean, the main thing is the person has to want to not be on it anymore. You can't
Well, what if
force
they-
them to become clean.
well, what if they do want to be off it and there's not a rehabilitation place around? We still have to try at least, right?
What if you throw them in the water? Would that help them come clean?
Are you suggesting that we try to rehabilitate people on the streets? I mean, I don't disagree with the idea. I think that's a lovely notion. Everyone should have access to such things, but I don't think any of us have the time or the credentials.
We could at least try.
Sure, we could talk to them, have a good come to payload kind of conversation, give
No,
them some tactics and some ideas on
to
how to
Paylor?
cope.
I don't know why everyone goes to Paylor. He doesn't really do anything.
I do not know why either. All he does is shine bright. I mean,
Just-
I suppose if you're into that.
Barely does that. Don't tell my papa I said that.
Oh, very well.
The thing about the gods in this world is they don't really do much of anything. It's just the idea of them is what gives people the drive and the will to do good things and move forward.
I would disagree. Thanatos is very active.
The idea of them is what made them in the first place. So,
That's the thing.
Anyway, I would like to
So-
at least try to help someone if we can find them, because maybe my magic can do something if they want it.
We're doing water
think that-
and credentials. My apologies, Yuki. I was trying to keep track of everything.
That's okay. And I think that might be a very important thing to ask. Maybe if your magic can clear their minds of the substance so that they may think clearly, at least in a moment, to see if it is something they do wish to be rid of. There are some people, I've heard of some tribes that just want to be disconnected from reality and do not wish to reconnect, and substances are used to facilitate that. That is their choice. It is not for us to say whether they are right or wrong.
certainly doesn't hurt anyone to ask if they want help.
Hmm.
Kind of what we do, right? We show up,
Consent is important.
kick ass, and hopefully that helps people along the way. Big hopefully.
I don't know if kicking their ass would be helpful.
Sometimes some people just get their moment of clarity after their ass has been sufficiently kicked.
Maybe you should not come then. Or stay in the back.
Kicking ass.
We don't know if this person's any danger to anyone, so I don't think we should do that.
He kind of wrinkles up his nose, like, not like actually kicking their ass. You know what? I'm just going to leave the idioms at home.
If we leave the idiots at home, who will come with us?
We have a tendency to fight people who need fighting, and that's something we probably have a reputation of. And we also have, I hope, the reputation of helping people. I mean, that's kind of what we've been advertising. Terrible PR for advertising and not delivering.
Syrian leads into you, Professor, at Ren's comment, and he says, I feel like that was targeted at me.
Oh, not just you,
Professor's
Ren.
the one who said it.
See, the thing you'll learn very quickly, Syrian, is Ren, as charismatic and lovable a creature as he is very cynical. It's really quite charming.
I
Don't
feel
take
like
it
that
back.
might be sarcasm.
He also doesn't understand sarcasm. It's really quite funny.
I do not understand.
Just wiggles his eyebrows.
Ren is so confused right now, guys.
So you make your way over to the food court where Syrian originally pointed out this person, and what you see as you approach is a female tiefling. She looks mid-20s, vibrant red skin, but her eyes are dull and unfocused as she sits slumped in a chair, kind of one of the tables here. You can kind of see she is like leaned back with her gaze just 1,000-yard stare, just kind of up towards the ceiling. Her arms are just kind of drooping at her side. Her breathing is a little bit labored, and there is proof of life. She is kind of like she gives off a little moan every once in a while, kind of like shifts slowly and arduously in her chair.
I think Jade immediately goes to this woman, who's obviously in some form of distress.
Yuki will walk over as well.
Miss? Hello?
She turns her head slowly towards you, Jade, and she just, in a kind of almost breathless whisper, just kind of sighs out, "The stars."
The stars are very pretty. She's gonna like crouch down. Is she like sitting down somewhere?
She's sitting in a chair. She's kind of like slumped a little bit, slumped backwards.
Okay, she's gonna
Her
she's
head's
gonna
kinda,
sit
like,
beside her.
tucked back.
She's gonna sit beside her. Are you the woman who used to own the herbalist shop?
Again, her head kind of slides to one side, and you see a lazy grin spreads across her face, and she says, "The flower petals give the stars life."
Oh, that's a very beautiful thing to say. I'm just not understanding what she's talking about. We heard what happened to you. Did you want us to try to help you?
As you continue speaking to her, you see she kind of starts nodding off.
Let's just reach up and just like gently like touch her shoulder and give her a little tiny shake. Miss?
She kind of jumps a bit and just sparkles, and she, again, just kind of slumps back.
Okay. Miss? You seem very much in distress right now and not very well. Is it okay if I remove the poison from you?
Flowers.
The flowers. Yes. The black lotus flowers. Yes, can I remove the black lotus flowers from you, please?
See the sparkles. Do you see them?
No, but maybe you can tell me about them once you're better. Is that okay?
Flowers.
Jade,
Okay.
can I just tell you something? One thing before you do anything.
Yes?
If you're going to try and remove the poisons from her system magically, just I want you to know that it can be quite jarring and almost traumatizing in some cases to have that sort of thing ripped from your body all at once, especially if it's impacting the perception. It might be a better idea if we give her a safe place to ride it out and then have a discussion with her after.
You just said we didn't have time to rehabilitate her.
Rehabilitation takes months, even years, but we can give her time to come down from the effects and have a talk with her at least.
I have something that might help. When we get to that point, Yuki will reach into her bag and rummage around, and she will pull out some morning berry, which is a mild depressant, relaxing, and soothing. This may help with the transition from the lotus to not having the lotus in her system.
That can help. Are you going to use Cleansing Void to purge her of the poison?
She's going to look at him and say, no, I was going to use Lesser Restoration on her.
Right. Lesser Restoration. You're cleric. You know, it does something similar. And I know that we've been working on these. It might be a good opportunity to...
Can I please just help her? And you can talk to me about what you want to talk about afterwards.
But we need to make sure while we're helping her, we are being responsible and we are yanking her out of this altered reality she is in. Seth, you said we're in like some sort of food court?
Yes.
Please, just a moment, please. And Yuki will go and she will see if she can get some hot water from somewhere and just try to like mix up real quick a strong cup of the morning berry.
Yeah, so the hot water is easy enough to find. Give me a moment here. So what is the goal, and what are you trying to do with this tea?
Sure. The goal is to just have something to sort of buffer being yanked out of a high and not expecting it, and just being yanked back into reality, having this depressant, this soothing tea to just hopefully buffer a little bit, maybe give her something to focus on, something to kind of ground her with, something to kind of, like I said, maybe buffer it a little bit.
Okay. So as you go to brew this tea, I need you to give me a check with your herbalism kit. So this is going to be a wisdom check, and you're going to add your proficiency.
So like a wisdom saving throw?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Like a wisdom saving throw?
No, just a wisdom check. So basically, you roll a d20, you
Yeah.
add your wisdom modifier, and you add your proficiency bonus.
All right. D20 was a 14. Proficiency bonus. can never find that fucker. That's a 3, so 14, 15, 16, 17. And then what else do I put in there?
Proficiency.
Mm.
You good?
No. What do you mean proficiency?
Your
It's
proficiency.
probably +3. The proficiency bonus is above your initiative.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay, so +3, so it's 14, 15, 17, 18, 19, 20.
Yeah, you are able to brew a cup that you feel would be pretty effective.
She will hurry back over because she knows Jade is impatient and she just wants to make sure that this is on deck. She'll hurry back over, kneel down kind of next to this woman, look up at Jade and say, okay.
She's gonna reach out and she still has her hand on this woman's shoulder because she's been kind of her head like lolling back and forth, and Jade's going to cast Lesser Restoration to get rid of the poison condition from her.
Okay.
Does that do anything?
So as you cast your restoration,
Restoration. Cast. I cast it.
You kind of see. Well, what does it look like as Jade casts this? What is Jade doing as she's doing this?
I think it's less of something that other people can see with this Lesser Restoration, and it's more of something that you could potentially feel if you're close enough to her. So her hand is on this woman's shoulder. She's sitting next to her, and there's just this very like warm wind that begins to build up around Jade, and not a strong wind, nothing that is out of the ordinary for like a nice spring day, but it's something that starts from her and just wraps around the both of them and brings with it the scent of like flowers and maybe sea air that's just there, like a comforting kind of presence that's there to like take away the rest of it.
So as you cast this spell, you see this. You can feel this warming air kind of envelop around this tiefling, and it settles in slowly. And you can kind of see her head perk up a bit, her eyes open wider. She takes a deep breath in, and she starts to sit upright a little bit more. And she blinks and looks around herself as if she's noticing her surroundings for her first time.
Hi.
How long have I been sitting here?
We just found you a few moments ago. How are you feeling?
What? It's cold.
Here. And Yuki will hand her the tea.
She looks at the tea and she looks at you, Yuki, and she says, I don't know you.
I am Yuki Musoka. I'm from the Byodo Monastery, and I mean you no harm. This is Morningberry.
Has she heard of the monastery?
Mm.
She kind of blinks a bit and she says, What if the tea monks from across the ocean?
Yes.
She kind of chews her lip. She kind of hesitates, but then you see she takes the cup in her hands. Her hands are like shaking, slightly like shivering. She takes the cup in her hands and she kind of leans over it and she lets the vapor kind of like, she lets herself breathe in the vapor, and she does take a sip. You kind of see her shoulders relax a bit as she starts drinking this tea and starts like feeling warmer.
We heard about what happened to you.
Why would you care?
Because it's an awful thing that happened to you. And we want to try to help if we can.
It's my own fault.
Why do you say that?
Because I believed another stranger. And I thought I could open my mind. She promised me I could. And I tried.
She?
Yes.
Do you know who it was? Do you have a name?
I don't. I just... She wore a cloak. She was a tiefling like me, gray skin and gold eyes. She said she had traveled from Talam Turim.
Oh, temerity.
Yuki's tail will twitch as she says that.
That sounds familiar.
And she came from Talam Tarim?
Yes?
Okay.
She,
If they had you make this, do you think you could make something that would stop it?
I was trying to make more of this. I had tested it to make sure that it worked, and it worked all too well.
What was it supposed to do?
It was supposed to open your eyes and see other worlds. The tiefling told me that with the flower that she gave me, I'd be able to create a potion that would open your mind to ideas of not just this world, but many others. And I was desperate for it. And then the more I used it, the more desperate I got. Oh, you're always feeling like you were right on the edge of whatever your big discovery was going to be. And I felt like just one more time I use it, I would get it, but it always felt just out of my grasp.
Do you want to keep using it?
She kind of swallows as she taps her fingers on the mug and she stares down into the tea. And she says, I don't, but I do. Does that make sense?
Oh, I think I understand. If we were able to help you not want to use it anymore, would that be preferable for you?
See her fingers kind of clench the teacup a little tighter, and she purses her lips and just gives you a quick tight nod.
Okay. I have a little bit of magic that might help, but I can't promise it will. The worst that would happen is that nothing happens. Would you like me to try?
She shivers a bit and shakes her head, and she's like, I couldn't ask you to do that. I don't deserve it.
I'm offering to do it. Everyone deserves to be helped if they can. You didn't do anything wrong. You were curious. And you didn't know.
I knew I probably shouldn't have done it, at least not as much as I did, and I should have realized that the more I did it, the further away I was getting from where I wanted to be, until I found myself out of my ass. I don't deserve it.
I don't think that's right. I think if you want to help, you deserve help. But you're not asking for anything that I'm not offering, and nothing that I'm not willing to give, if I can, if we can.
She kind of
So,
looks around at you all. She kind of like studies each of your faces for a moment and turns back to you, Jade, and she says, I have nothing to offer for this, though.
you getting better is all that we would want. And maybe you can tell us some more about the woman who asked you to make this in the first place. Would that be okay?
It hardly seems fair, but sure.
I'm going to try something, and it might feel a little strange, but I'm going to try to help, okay? And if it feels wrong or you don't feel comfortable, you say to stop and I'll stop, okay?
Alright.
She's going to reach up and just lightly lay her hands on the sides of her face so her fingers are touching her temples. And she's going to close her eyes and she's going to reach out to Kevin. Because he didn't give me a name and I don't know how else to say anything. So in her mind she says, can you help me help her?
It's a whisper that you hear, Jade. And it says, you only need to ask.
Yes, I am asking. Oh,
Then what is it you are
well,
asking for?
to make her better? To make it so she doesn't have to use this poison anymore? Is the magic I have enough?
If you will it enough, Jade, it will be.
Okay. And she's going to tap into the void. And use that to help. To help this woman. She has a spell that she uses quite frequently called Memory that her papa taught her, which is used to bring back every awful thing that's ever happened to you physically and make it happen to you all at once. And every time she casts a spell, every time she's ever cast any spell, she's always used her imagination to make it real. And she's going to use the basis of that spell to do the opposite to this woman here. She doesn't want to hurt her. She doesn't want to bring anything bad back to her. She wants to peel back the things that have been done to her and put her back at a place where she felt like herself. And she will use the void to create a new version of her own spell to do that. And that is, for mechanical purposes, it's cleansing void. As she meets this woman in her own mind and tries to push out and remove all of the lingering bits that this potion that she created and poisoned herself with still has in her system.
What does it physically look like?
I think while she's sitting there with her hands on the sides of her face and her fingers at her temples and her eyes are closed, there's that warm wind that kicks up again. Just a very slight breeze that begins to pick up around the two of them. And then it's like there's a darkness that begins to spread from Jade's fingertips over this woman's like temples. Not a darkness that's cold or unforgiving. Like not a darkness that is consuming, but something that is embracing. And it starts there, and then you can see it slowly begin to like pulse around Jade where her aura would be. It's just this low thrumming, pulsing, the darkness that is between the stars when you look up past the light. The darkness that could be anything. The possibility of what you could make it. And it picks up and gathers in that wind. And as it's gathering up around Jade, and then it flows from Jade onto this woman and out of her. I have her name written down, and I keep saying this woman, and I have her name.
It's Rana. Jade, I need you to give me a charisma check with advantage.
Okay. Uh, 22.
Okay. So as this magic seeps into this tiefling, you all can see this transfer of magic happening. And you can see the shaking in her hands and her body stop. And she looks confused for a moment. She looks a little bit bewildered as she still stares down at her tea. And she kind of looks confused. She takes another sip. And she sits up a little bit straighter. Proper-like. And looks at you, Jade. And she says, "It's gone."
Jade will take her hands away as that wind dies down. Is he? Really?
She looks away, kind of looks around at y'all, and then back at you, Jade, and nods, and she says, "Yeah." And she reaches into her pocket, and you see she pulls out an eyedropper and just places it on the table in front of her.
Jade's smile is huge as she wraps her arms around this woman and gives her like an unexpectedly tight hug. I'm so glad we were able to help.
She kind of she starts a bit, and then kind of smiles and her voice softens as she kind of does like one of those half hugs back, and she says, "Yes, thank you. I am so sorry I did not get your names. I'm Rana Stormchaser, and this is the clearest that I've thought in probably well over a month."
It's good to
Yuki
meet you,
will
Rana.
put her hand on Rana's, like around the teacup, and she'll say, "Welcome back, Rana."
Thank you.
And you feel okay?
I feel definitely more like myself, for sure.
That's wonderful. That's great. It's so nice to meet you. And I'm Jade, by the way. And this is Ren and Noriko and Reverie and Professor, and Yuki introduced herself.
She stands up a bit and brushes herself off. Her clothes are kind of like rumpled and looks like she's been wearing the same things for a couple of days. She kind of straightens herself out as best she can, and she says, "Pleasure to meet you all. It's an incredibly generous thing to do to try to save a junkie like me."
I don't know what that means, but oh my god, we can help. I'm really glad we could help.
She kind of takes a breath in and looks around at the market, and she says, "So, where do we go from here?"
Yuki will smile at her and say, "Would you like to get something to eat?"
That would be nice, I think.
Then why don't we start there?
Alright. I still don't have any money, though.
Oh, we have lots of money.
Does not matter.
Just into the crowd of people. Just, we got lots of money over here. They're just like,
Mhm.
yeah, you do.
Naruko freaking smacks her forehead with her hand.
I think Arby does that more.
I missed the thing. What am I embarrassed about?
Rana says, Yuki asked Rana if she wanted some food, and Rana said she didn't have any money, and Jade said, "That's so fine. We have lots of money."
Oh, okay.
You heard
There
in
it
the
is.
voice.
There it is.
Yeah, that was it.
We being everyone else. I have 7 silver because I keep giving my gold to Naruko and Reverie.
That's probably smarter.
I mean, we're basically in the food court of the mall here, so
Yeah.
this sounds
Yeah.
like a wonderful time for Naruto to come back with like everyone's meal orders and like an extra corn dog or something.
Sounds about right. So yeah, she will sit down with you and she will happily join you in some lunch. She looks around at you guys and she says, "So, um, I guess what more information are you looking for that I could possibly give?"
I guess it's just. Can you tell us more about this person who asked you to make this potion? Did you give it to them? When did they come back? Or
No, she never came back. Um, at least not that I can remember, anyway. She came into my shop one day. She said she traveled from Talam Tarim. She had a unique flower that grows in the desert there. She claimed it could enhance my work and open my mind to new possibilities, like I mentioned. And I traded with her for a month's supply and the formula to make the eye drops.
But what did she want in return? I'm sorry.
She just wanted regular potions. She didn't want anything weird or exotic or anything like that, which I thought was strange because this was such a unique thing that she was trading. But, you know, I had always been open to new possibilities, trying to find new formulas, working with new ingredients, and I was excited for the opportunity, so I didn't really think anything of it.
I don't understand what the point of it would be. When you made it, were you the one who gave it to other people?
I never sold it. I never gave it to anyone because I felt like it was never ready.
Well, how did everyone else get it?
What do you mean everyone else got it?
Well, there's a man at a loud and bright dance hall who apparently sells it to people.
I never gave it or sold it to anybody. I don't know how anyone else would have gotten it.
Oh. That's concerning. Unless you gave it to other alchemists in town. What do you think, Reverie?
We probably need more information on where this other person is getting their source.
She'll look at the professor.
Professor might be muted.
Shit. Sorry. I missed. Sorry.
Sorry, what was that?
I was being talked at down the stairs and I completely missed it. Sorry. Can you repeat?
No, you're okay. Rana said that she never gave the potion she made to anyone else. She only made it for herself. But we said, well, there's the guy at the club was selling it to people. She said she doesn't know how he would have gotten it because she never sold it to anyone else. So she asked Reverie. Jade asked Reverie what she thought. Reverie said we need more information, so we asked the professor because he's the one who talked to the man at the club.
Well, based on our interaction, I was under the assumption that this was widely available to people who know where to look. That man just happened to know where to look, which leaves me to believe that perhaps we need to speak with him again.
Yuki will look towards Professor and just nod.
No, not you, not me. He looks at Jade. He's like, right, cleric. Do you have Zone of Truth available to you?
I've never used that spell before. I could learn it.
It's okay. It's not absolutely necessary. It would just be helpful, but I think that someone whose genuine, caring nature would probably be the best bet to approaching him again. You were there, but you helped him. You might be the best person to try and get information out of him.
Out of character. Did Professor tell us that he was getting his supply from the Red Hoods?
I think he would have transferred any knowledge that he had gained from there, probably off screen. But anything that he learned in there, he would have passed on. Although Jade and Professor were in a fight, so she may not have heard him or been willing to hear him at that point. So
I don't think Jade and Professor have really talked since last night. So I don't think Jade is. Jade probably has any information on that.
all right, he'll.
I just wanted to make sure like what Jade knew outside of like my notes that I took about everybody.
Yeah. Right, we haven't really talked in a bit. It seems much of the supply has come from the Red Hoods. But getting to know who within the organization that he gets his product from might go a long way to helping us finding out where all of this insanity is coming from, because it's strange that this is so out there and she's never given it to anybody.
Do you think that the Grayskin Tiefling gave it to more people to experiment with? That's why it's everywhere? Or do you think she is the Red Hoods?
If I were a betting man, and I'm not really, I'd be willing to bet that she probably did. I can't begin to pretend to understand what their motives are, but this showing of discourse seems to follow them around.
Naraka will chip in. She will say, as far as a motive, if use of the Black Lotus to create a potion for expanding one's mind to new horizons, it's entirely possible, especially also given rumors that we've heard of those who partaken heavily, sort of entering the somnolent state where they speak of strange dreams and forms. It might be a roundabout method of recruiting for the cults that we are in pursuit of, in that it's possible that whatever connection this drug has to a realm of dreams might be used to try and commune with the void. That's about the only connection I could see between a cultist asset wanting to use a criminal enterprise to increase the amount of drugs in circulation of a particular municipality.
I mean, that makes sense. It's just such a round way of doing it. Cults these days just don't have the finesse that one would expect of a mastermind of whatever the hell this is.
Well, it's a lot more difficult to trace a number of sort of spontaneous awakenings of people connecting with the void and potentially using it. A lot more difficult to track down an originating source, as sort of happened with us in Red's Wharf, where they had a compound that was a very obvious locus of activity. This would be more dispersed and chaotic. So you're right, not exactly a form of finesse, but it also could be used just as a groundwork of having more people available who would be receptive if they were to do anything like a mass-scale operation or ritual that would attempt to invoke a large amount of void effect in one location. there's things to extrapolate off of that. It also could just be research. They're just curious to see if this even works for their purposes, and they're testing it in the general population before using it internally.
That seems very plausible, and if this is indeed what's happening, we may be in a lot of trouble. If they have any means of activating it, any and all the people that they've, he does the air quotes, awakened in any capacity, be it magical or otherwise, we may find ourselves in the midst of some real trouble. So I think that time is of the essence. We should probably figure this out and figure it out quickly.
Naruto gets like a light bulb expression when Professor does the air quotes around the word awaken. He's like, no, not awaken. Sleeping, actually. Sleeper agents, even. Oh, goodness.
Bad idea. I hate all of this, and this one time, Naruto, I seriously hope that you are completely off base and you have no idea what you're talking about.
Me too.
Right. What's the next steps? Should we speak with our friend at the club and get a name? Should we do the kick down the door and thing, or should we go somewhere completely off in the left field?
I still prefer to focus on Verdant Holdings just because it seems to be a target of the Red Hoods, and thwarting them there might give us information and an in to their base of operations. I don't particularly want to trouble the supplier at the club after we've already potentially put ourselves on notice through our interactions with him.
Fair.
As you guys are talking, you see Rana is kind of sipping on her tea, and you can see the gears kind of working in her mind as she's trying to process how the hell anyone else would have gotten this drug. And you see the light bulb kind of lights up for a moment, and she looks at you all and she says, I wonder if somebody stole the formula from my shop after I got kicked out.
The Red Hoods do steal things. And it's the Belafontes who held the lease to your shop and foreclosed upon you, correct?
Yes, it's the Belafontes who own almost everything in Tremonto and lease out most of the business spaces here in the market.
Yes, they're very invested in property. Okay. Naruto just adds another checkmark towards the fucking Belafontes conspiracy theory. Like, I swear, if the end result is fucking Scooby-Doo, this was all a conspiracy for land redistribution. I'm just
It
like,
absolutely
again?
It's gonna be even funnier if we get there and the Belafontes are like, what? No, our manservant handles all of that. And it's just like this weird snidely whiplash guy in a corner going, yes.
First
Just
of all, we're
fucking old
literally
man
going to a
bitches.
masquerade.
Oh my god, we are going to a masquerade.
Yeah, we're going to Scooby-Doo moment, guys.
all along.
It's like,
Okay, so which of us is going to set up all the convoluted Rube Goldberg trap to
Okay,
ensnare the
obviously
villain?
that's Naruto.
I
don't even
don't
know why you're
want to.
asking.
It's always me. I've got a fiance I've got to deal with. Someone
But you're
log
big
in.
brain.
Mentor.
Don't be big brain then. What do you want?
Look, if you actually make it, like, Naruto needs to go set up the traps, she's going to, like, construct a robotic body double to, like, take her place
Probably.
for the whole party.
She would. Okay, don't lie. The body double would have more fun.
Mm.
Did we learn anything
Alright.
good?
So, yes, there is a very
We do.
simple solution that the Alchemist has stated, which is it is not part of a larger conspiracy. Someone just saw a new drug and thought it would be profitable.
Okay, right. Or conspiracy.
Yuki is so 100% convinced it's the cult. 100%.
It's
Well, the problem is fucking Giovanni or whatever his name is Lorenzo has
Fucking
has
fuckhead.
been witnessed using void-like magic, so that does add some extra suspicion to the Red Coats as an organization. But
Okay,
Mhm.
but they're being backed by the fucking fuckwad family.
The fucking
Awesome.
fuckwad family?
Yeah. The ones that are buying up all the land.
Oh
Obviously.
yes,
Wow.
Lord Farquaad Belafonte is his
The
full name.
fuckwad. Lord Farquhar, the fuckwad Bonifalte. Didn't you guys see it in the paper? It was announced.
Joe,
Hmm?
it's canon.
What?
Canon now.
You have yet to produce a token or a name for this guy. It's canon.
For Belamonte?
Yep, it's fuckwad.
Farquaad Belafonte.
They have names. I do have them. You just haven't met them
Yeah, okay.
yet.
Well,
Sure.
you were too slow to give them to me, so now look what happened.
Usually what happens.
That's not my name. That's not mine.
It is right now.
It is
Oh,
now.
we got Jerry, Bits, and Steve, man.
I'm getting too
Real.
worked up for having a headache right now. This is a bad
Oh,
beginning.
Oh.
have some caffeine.
Quick, somebody do something boring.
Oh God.
I still do not understand sarcasm.
Anyway, is there any particularly noteworthy food items for sale in this market of this town?
No.
We sample the street food every place we go. This is no
Here we
different.
do.
Because if there's not, I'm gonna make it.
We have high expectations. Stop adding ranch to everything.
You're not my mother. You can't tell me what to do, and ranch is life.
Your mother could not tell you what to do. Stop playing around.
My mother is a saint, and she's also a fox with at least 6 tails.
After raising you, I'm quite certain has raised up to 9. She earned it.
She didn't raise me. I did
Tails.
dumb and got stuck with the god for 100 years.
Look, don't claim your mother is a saint. We have 2 clerics in the party. If one of them rolls a good enough religion, they'll call you out on that.
That's true.
Do I know? Do I
It's
know?
been a long time.
Insight. 17. Yep, she's a saint.
Yeah, this is player-to-player bullshit. We will use all of our inspiration for this.
I will use every single inspiration I have to do everything I need to. Would your potion making instructions have still been in your shop when your shop was closed?
I always kept them in my desk, but whatever happened to my shop after I got booted, I couldn't tell you. I know it's boarded up, but I haven't been inside since.
Do you think you'd be able to get your shop back?
Not unless you could pay the back lease to the Belamontes.
Naruto immediately
Bastards.
starts sweating as she knows what the follow-up question from Jade is going to be.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Well, how
I don't
much would
have
that?
feelings.
Well,
So much for those cannons, man.
It's been a month, so probably about 5,000 gold.
Mark!
That's so much.
Cannons for you.
That is all of our money.
Well, that
Yeah,
was calculated.
That seems like a lot for 1 month.
Well,
Is that a lot?
my shop.
Yeah,
is
actually,
making...
can I roll business to know how much of a price gouge that is, even for a prime
Yes.
location?
Yeah, sure.
The answer is yes.
I don't know. Let's call this an intelligence check.
Intelligence. With proficiency or not?
Yeah, you can have proficiency to that.
Yay. I am proficient in business.
Yeah, you are.
So you're proficient in intelligence, so yeah.
Okay,
One.
so
Hold on 1, that'd be hilarious.
no, it's about 10 plus 4 for guidance plus
There you go.
intelligence and stuff. It is 26.
Okay.
Not so much of a gouge as much as it is a premium, because this is like the central market. This is where a lot of the tourists of the town come through. So, you know, the rents here are going to be jacked up a little bit, probably like probably up to like 25% more than they would be anywhere else. But this is like super prime location, so like, it's probably not out of the realm of what would be expected for such a place. But I don't think you get the feeling that she's being gouged. It's just definitely just a premium.
Gotcha.
But she does answer you, and she says, I know that sounds like a lot, but my shop easily did 4 times that every month.
Well, maybe we can go talk to the Belafontes for you.
It's Belamonte.
Belamonte, sorry.
Is
Maybe we
it?
can go talk to the Belafontes for
I
you.
mean, it might not be
It's gone by the
anymore,
wrong
name.
No, I'm
Sorry.
pretty sure it's Belafonte's now.
I've been saying Belafonte this whole time, I think.
I think you even got me doing it once or twice.
Definitely.
That's just because I, like, probably misspoke once and was like, that's the way it says.
Sounds good to me.
Nope, Belamonte, it's right there on the map. That's just me being weird. Well, maybe we
fix
can go
that.
talk to them for you if your shop did so well. Maybe they would be willing to help.
You could try, or I could just try to start from scratch again, I suppose. I mean, my shop was quite popular. If people found that I've moved or opened up again, perhaps they would come back if they get past the part where I was a non-present junkie for like a month.
I mean, you were the first victim of an unknown potion. Sometimes things
All
like that happen.
Gears are turning. Narco wants to ask, dear, were you part of any sort of guild or association here in Tremonto?
No, it's just me.
Okay. Tremonto, again, mafia controlled. There are not allowed to be any artisan guilds. It's all family patronage. Okay. But you were part of a community, like well known, providing essential services, especially for those seeking, healing, restoratives, care for the sick, etc.
Yes.
There is a rather large crowd of people outside this very market who are very concerned about the fact that power and economic privilege are concentrated up in the upper echelons. And I think you might be able to use that as an opportunity for a practical display of a community pooling their resources for the betterment of itself.
We've got ourselves a Kickstarter. Go
I
fund.
bet I'm going to add crowdfunding to Naruko's list of innovations.
Atta girl.
That will change the world. I have met a gentleman today that I think would be worthwhile for us both to meet.
Oh.
Because I would like to avoid a situation where the solution to your problem is either I or the Goldwater, like a noble family, gives you the funds to reopen and then puts you under a condition of debt where you are ever after sort of beholden to repay that back with interest. I think a show of community support to allow you to reopen in an independent fashion might be a very excellent success story to give more heart to the people. Especially also since this epidemic of the Black Lotus has become sort of a draining issue in the community. A story of someone being able to overcome and kick the habit could also inspire others who are struggling with the same difficulty.
That sounds feasible.
Well, that's wonderful. Because as the old saying goes, first we do what is necessary, then we do what we find to be possible, and soon enough, we're doing the impossible.
Huh. Okay.
Narco's got a plan, and hopefully this will reduce the amount of money she has to involve with this by
There it is.
several thousand.
Cannons.
Because fuck, Jade's invested now. Narco can't not do
Yeah.
something.
That's the problem.
I will give you my 7 silver pieces. That's gonna help.
That's so cool. I can use that to buy some weeds from my neighbor's backyard garden. That's my
I can buy
stock.
weed. That's how we started in this mess.
Smash cut to Yuki once again trolling into people's garden plots, stealing herbs.
1000% she would do that
They're not using it right.
to help.
You're not using it right.
Her, what? You got extras? She needs some.
So yeah, that is a business plan Narco is going to start like drafting up in the background to go talk with Mr. Union Boss once we're done in the market lunchtime thing we're doing.
All right.
Did we decide what snackies we got yet?
Yes.
Okay.
I was looking up some good themed appropriate snackies that are here.
Right in my priorities.
So there is a savory. Numerous different stands around here. Some of the things you can find are a savory seafood pie that's filled with shrimp and scallops and mussels and a creamy marinara sauce. That's kind of almost like a pot pie of like seafood. Nice and hearty and hot, and it's filling. There are little like meatballs that are made with pork and beef and fresh herbs that are served in like a tomato basil sauce. You can also find different flatbreads and pizzas of all kinds. There is a saffron arancini, which is a fried rice ball that's filled with saffron stuffed with mozzarella, fried to a crisp. And for the sweet tooth, you can find some limoncello gelato cannolis and all sorts of different espresso confections like little cakes, biscotti, and sweet little like cupcakes and croissants.
Apple cupcakes?
Are there apple cupcakes here?
It's like the kobolds all over again.
Perfect sense.
Look,
apple
At the very least, we
cupcakes.
can.
There are apple cupcakes, apple turnovers, and apple croissants.
Happy Ren. No- oh my gosh, an apple croissant. Bye, Ren's gone. 2 stomachs are empty again. Here we go.
2 stomachs are empty again.
Still pretty sure you need more than just apples.
Well, there's croissants with these ones.
So yeah, so those are snackies.
Interesting snackies. Lots of pastries. Lots of pastries are happening right now, I think.
Oh, and gelato. Of course, gelato. Gelato.
And gelato and pastries are happening right now.
Nice.
Jade is just over the moon happy about helping someone, so she's eating with everyone else.
We did it, guys. We cured drugs.
Yeah.
That is not what happened.
Until the next time.
We cure
Mhm.
drugs.
Look, in my fantasy world, yes. Use a dangerous, dark, addictive magic to cure someone else's addiction.
That's what happened.
In the war on drugs, we have chosen to ignore the Geneva Conventions and take no prisoners.
Yep.
That's true.
I had a vision of Marcus showing up and being like, "Hey, addiction is actually a choice."
Marcus,
Oh,
you narc.
He was doing so well.
You
I'm
keep
going
punching
to,
him
I'm
in the
going
face.
to punch you.
No,
I'm going to punch you.
He wouldn't do that. He wouldn't do that.
This is why his nickname is Narcus.
Narcus.
I like honestly sometimes it's like, does Marcus really believe everything that Naruto does? I'm not sure. At the very least, he's smart enough to know how to toe the party line. So
That's true.
that's still technically a positive.
Look, if what you get out of this is just an agreeable husband, I think you're fine.
Yeah, you're ahead of the game for most people.
Mhm.
And what do you do? Well, and what does your wife do? Well, my wife goes on adventures, and I sit home and I take care of the houseplants. She's
And I
very
pre-
delightful.
I perform in plays.
My wife does
She
whatever
gives
the fuck
me an
wants.
allowance of 300 gold a month.
My wife is currently sailing on the ship that she owns with her girlfriends. They're having a wonderful time.
That she commandeered.
We own it.
I got paperwork together. That was
That's true.
salvage, if anything else.
you did.
It was abandoned.
She did not Lorelei this. She
She did not
actively
Lorelei this.
has a thing.
Like
So is
that's,
that called a
that's-
legal Lorelei?
It's
Anything's
not
legal
my
if
fault
just
that the
getting
laws in port were so very accommodating for me to
Right.
just claim an abandoned ship.
We are so irritated by this thing being here. You take it. Give us
Okay.
20 gold. Take it.
We're
Done and
granted.
done.
I like how he just quoted a number, and it wasn't an insignificant amount of gold, but it was enough for Naruto to start seeing dollar signs because the value transfer was immense. The joys of capitalism and lack of regulation.
There it is.
It's
Still
okay.
early
I've used-
stage
I've
capitalism.
used my powers for good.
Okay, sure.
I did a Kickstarter.
I did a crowdfunding resource thing.
Hey Al, what did you do in D&D last night? Well, we broke capitalism and fixed drugs.
Wow, it really is a
I love
fantasy, huh?
Yeah.
Whoa!
Look, if I'm gonna live in a fantasy world, I'm gonna live in one where I can be a hero to all the things, not just the punching bad guys in the face part.
That's fair. Aim big, guys. Aim big.
Aim big.
Mhm.
We can defeat capitalism, the church, and addiction.
Hell yeah.
Except for the cool drugs, in which case everyone gets them for free.
Did we defeat depression yet?
Legalize that shit.
No.
Fuck.
That's called playing the game. That's
Oh,
what Paris is. It's
Was
to keep playing.
okay.
It's a weekly
Was-
infusion.
was Brother Edward a functional alcoholic? No. Was he a practicing alcoholic? No. He was a perfect alcoholic.
He really was. He had all the experience.
He perfected that shit.
Fuck yeah.
He really did.
MVP
I
right
like-
there of alcoholism.
Mhm.
It didn't stop me from making the canonical cause of his death basically magical liver failure, but he still
Yeah.
went to 300, which is pretty dang good for even a
Good
dwarf.
for a dwarf.
Oh yeah.
That is.
Anyway, so does Rana go off to find the revolutionaries?
Yeah,
After we feed her.
yeah. If you point her in that direction, she'll go.
Okay. Narco would like to introduce the two of them together, even though potentially they already know each other, just so Narco can sort of go over her plan for, creating a sort of success story of communal action. And also she will very quietly promise that even if fundraising efforts fall short of the 5,000 gold goal or what have you, she
They
will
won't.
contribute to make up the difference. The general goal of this is so the community is backing this because this is a long-standing and trusted member of the community, despite the recent month of misfortune as she has succumbed to a crisis in the community that everyone has. But her skills in that department do make her well positioned towards helping alleviate that. The general idea is rather than have her take out a massive loan with one of the big families, and she has to raise her prices in the shop and whatever to cover those debts to get back in business. we the community are helping to support her with the understanding that like when she reopens, her prices, policies, etc., are to be geared towards helping to improve the overall health of everyone here.
Okay.
Is that a suitable pitch that seems like it could maybe gain traction, especially with Aurelian to sort of be the spokesperson to the general public to gather that support?
I'll tell you what. Why don't you give me either a persuasion or a performance check with advantage?
Nice.
I persuade people.
Yeah, you do.
Because Rana was already a well-liked person in the market. Her reputation might have taken a little bit of hit, when she kind of got drugged out, but she was, I mean, and you guys would know this from kind of poking around and talking to people, that she was pretty well known in the market, and her wares were very well received. So, people want to be on her side. They just need that little extra push.
Yes. You said advantage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Great. That first roll was a 2, so I'm hoping for something better.
Come on, buddy.
That was not that much better. I am burning in inspiration. How many do I have right now? I only have 1. Okay.
Right.
Pop that off. Much better.
There we
That
go.
was like a 2, and then a 4, and then a 17. So,
Hey!
total
Nice.
altogether plus guidance will be 27.
So is the idea here to kind of basically create like a GoFundMe in the market?
Yes.
Yeah, that's sort of the short version of it. That particular scheme might not exist in this particular
Sure,
time
yeah.
before the Industrial Revolution, but and it doesn't have to be like just the market. This could be something where he goes around to various neighborhoods, because presumably, this is the working class. They would need to sort of reach a wide range of people throughout the city to accumulate a sizable amount of money. But at the same time, if right now everyone's just frustrated and they're angry at the powers that be, this is kind of a chance where there is a project that they can take ownership of and feel like they are doing something to better the city despite or in spite of the nobles, since again it was like the Belafontes who foreclosed on her. You can sort of put this as like a small step towards reclaiming, part of the health of the city for ourselves.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the general goal for
Yeah.
the whole operation.
So, collectively, your pitch seems to invigorate the crowd. People seem to be falling behind this idea and are doing what they can to prop Rana back up.
Yay, love to see it. Okay, I think we have to go buy masks now, right?
Once the party starts leading away from that crowd again, and we're back amongst just ourselves, Jade is going to talk with Naruko, and I mean anybody else who's there, but like she's walking beside Naruko while they talk, and she's gonna say, I was thinking, well, whilst you were talking, and she hasn't stopped smiling this whole time either. Whilst everyone was talking, it keeps coming up that the Belamonte's name keeps kind of popping up amongst all the things that we're doing, and I mean it might mean nothing, but Marcus is looking into the church, the temple, and any of the families would have a way to get down there. If we're gonna go look for masks, maybe we can stop by the jewelry maker, the one who makes all the nobles' jewelries and magic things. We can see if how those work, and maybe find out if the Belamontes use theirs in certain special ways or something. Especially if someone stole things out of Ronna's shop.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm sure the Belmontes would be able to get into the shop since they might own it. But if they had a way of being able to steal things from her when she was still on the property.
So I do agree that the Belamonte name has come up, and as far as the Red Hood operations, at least with what they've been doing targeting Verdant Holdings, does seem like something that might be beneficial to their business interests in town. Not enough that I have much proof, but it is something I have noted. As far as getting into the crypts, I see two options. Option one, someone in the noble sphere who has a ring that offers access to the crypts just uses their ring as normal to access it. Option two, someone illicitly acquired one of those rings or did what I would probably do with my skill set, which is reverse engineer the enchantment and create their own to sort of fool the system to get in. Talking with Madame Celeste, we might be able to inquire if she knows of any thefts of those signet rings that could point towards the latter. I am curious to see what Marcus turns up first before we go inquiring about that.
That makes sense.
Just to know, just in case he has any information about whether or not they already know that people have been accessing it, or if it's a complete mystery. Like even on nights where we add an extra lock, they're still in there, or they might not even know about this going on. It may be just that one Dragonborn who's seen it.
Maybe, or you thought earlier too, it could just be someone who's stirring up trouble, like rumors and things.
That is true.
If
I would
Redheads
always
are
be
trying
happy to find out this was all just a rumor blown out of proportion.
Well, not even that. If the Echo, which I'm sure we're all thinking is the same person who brought Ronna the flower in the first place, to get her to work on this potion, to get it to be something that they could do. Once she was out of the picture, took it, got it to the Red Hoods. If she's part of the Red Hoods, or Lorenzo even, if they're here to stir up trouble, especially for Marcus's family, because you're getting married, Nariko, it's not like that's secret. If they stole a ring or something, the Dragonborn said that he sold them past the gate, not necessarily into the crypt. Marcus said that you have to be a family member to get into that crypt, and you have to do it, and the only way to do that is with blood. So you didn't see them in that part. You only saw them past the gate.
True. If it's just a signet ring, that's one thing. If they have to finagle their way through the blood test, that would be some definite involvement of high-ranking people.
And it might be a good idea for us to find out if anything strange is happening with the Belamontes too. If they're all a target, or if they're maybe part of the people targeting the Goldwaters.
I say, if we find in our dealings with the Red Hoods, if we find more circumstances that point towards the Belafontes being actively involved, that would be a pretty obvious follow-up from there. If not, though, we're going to need to be checking all of the noble families if we find out that the crypts are being used as some sort of meeting ground for, well, more trouble. So far, it doesn't seem like the two plots are connected to each other, but you never know.
Yeah. No, I just thought it was strange that the Belamonte's name keeps just coming up. I mean, I know that they're supposed to be doing lots of stuff with buildings and everything's happening in a building because that's all that's here is buildings, but I just thought maybe it'd be worthwhile. So maybe we go see Madame Celeste after we talk to Marcus today.
If it seems like what we're theorizing about is being supportive, then yes, that seems like a fairly simple follow-up to make.
Okay. I'm really glad we got to help Ronna.
I am too. Naruto's gonna wave the void magic wand on her and see how many points of corruption she gained from that little thing.
Does that tells you what her total level is at, right?
Yeah, it tells me her void score, more or less.
So you wave the wand at her, and you learn that she currently has 7 points of corruption.
7 points.
Speaking of which, Jade,
Oh, yes.
as you walk away from the market, I need you to give me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, a wisdom save. Okay. I'm really good at these.
Should be. You have like an 18 or 20 to your wisdom.
I do have a 20 on my wisdom, so that is a 18.
As you walk away from the market, Jade, you are emboldened by this generous act that you have been able to perform, this little bit of victory that you have, and you feel mentally stronger, more capable, more sure of yourself.
Oh.
At this point, going forward until things change otherwise, you will currently have advantage on any of your saves against panic attack.
Oh.
That's interesting. The last reading I have on Jade was she was at a 5. So
Oh, was your reading 5?
before now, today it's 7.
Then
So
it's actually 8. It's actually 8 now. Apologies.
Well, I don't know if there were any changes that happened that I just didn't scan.
No, whatever. Jade hasn't been cleansed of anything, so my count may have just been off.
Okay.
My notes were in my character sheet for that, and I had it written. I had a crazy number written down, and I was like, "Oh, that's right. I think it's this." So if you have that, that's probably what it actually is. So I will make my correction on my note.
I should probably be making better notes this
myself. Let me do some back charting.
My...
Joe, what is the current date? Just for my note.
Today's May 25th.
25th. Okay. So that Jade at level 5 I have was back on May 21st.
Yeah, that's right then.
Yeah. Okay. So good to know that 5 wasn't a threshold for any effects, but past that into the 6 to 8 territory is, and notably she's having different effects than what the professor is.
Yeah, because Professor started getting like the void is being so mean to the professor.
Yeah, the professor.
Well, what the void is doing is it's giving you what you want. For the professor, it's reinforcing his ability to use the void magic more potently and sort of reducing his capacity for inherent magic as a side effect. For Jade, right now, it's giving her more confidence in the ability to better resist panic attacks. I look forward to seeing what it starts hampering her with to, again, tempt her to use the benefits more, because...
player-wise, I am delighted to see where this goes.
Professor also didn't openly go to the void and say, "Hey, let's be friends."
That's true. Jade definitely is still very much like, "Can we be friends?" And the void is like, "No one's ever wanted to be my friend before." So yeah, definitely, let's be friends.
Void shows up to Naruto because somehow she decided she was going to get on this. She just has a 25-page contract ready to go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Your mother taught you well. Call me Kevin.
Yeah, that ain't happening. Too paranoid. I need my brains the way they are. Mask time.
Mask time.
Mask time. So, you are aware of the shop called the Mysteria Masquerade that Marcus had previously pointed out to you. Yeah. He also pointed out that the Goldwaters are springing the bill for whatever masks you guys decide to choose. So when you arrive there, there's very helpful staff that is ready to receive you. presumably, well, I guess let me ask: as you approach, would you kind of cash in on the fact that you are being covered by the Goldwaters?
Yes. Money means nothing to Jade. They said they are already doing it, so she assumes they already bought things for them.
And I guess the question is like, then Narco, are you introducing yourself as the fiance to Marcus?
Narco just BRB'd.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Just burbed.
Just burbed.
Burb.
Burb.
A burp happens. Burb is a word.
Burp.
And the
There.
word is burb. Hi! Narako has returned.
Yes, so Jade is all about cashing in on the free mask offer from the Goldwaters. Narco, as you enter, would you kind of present yourself as the fiance to Marcus?
I kind of need to if I want to take advantage of that free credit. So
I figured, but I didn't want to assume for you.
just Narco grabs a mask and hides it as like, I am Fernando. You do not know me.
I don't know you. Yeah, so there is a very helpful, friendly staff that is there to help you all pick out your masks. I love the art that you guys came up with in the Discord for this, but would you like to describe? Would anyone, and you don't have to, but would anyone like to describe your shopping experience and what kind of masks you decided to go for, and what they look like, and what drew you to them?
Hell yeah, I'll describe my mask and what drew me to it. But I'll let other people go first if they want to.
Oh, I'll go first just to, get it out of the way. Ren does not find any of this amusing. Ren is so tired of all this stuff. And if the Goldwaters were not basically saying, oh no, we get this for you, Ren would not bother with the mask. But he goes in, he finds the smallest, cheapest, tiniest looking mask that he can. It's kind of like thrown under a couple of other ones, almost like it was ready to be thrown away. And he goes, this is the one. It is very tiny, it is plain black, and that is all he is getting. He would like to leave now.
Red's gonna love it.
Oh my gosh, Ren's gonna be so salty.
What if after Ren puts on the mask, like somehow nobody recognizes him?
That'd be hilarious too.
Oh my god.
Like, no, that's not Ren, the creepy death cleric. That's Horsepower, the masked vigilante.
That is ridiculous. Why would you say such a thing?
Because
Are
it's-
you on drugs?
Yes.
That would explain it.
All right. Good show, Ren. Love it. Very iconic.
Very Ren.
Very Ren.
I think for Narco, the mask she picks, she finds one that has like a blue and gold motif, which works very well. It's the Von Grützner blue color, and then the Goldwater gold, kind of like half and half, but then the filigree on the interior sort of mirrors each other, so it's a very sort of symbolic like joining of the two families. However, her little addition is similar to the cute little kind of clockwork butterfly pendants that she gave to Jade. She adds her own flair with a little steampunk sort of copper wire, then plated gold butterfly to add on as like a garnish over one of the eyes. So she makes sure she gets her own personal touch rather than it just being like the two families represented. There's also her and her artistry sort of flowering out from it.
Pretty.
So pretty.
Very nice.
I think Yuki will kind of have in mind the dress that she bought, and the greens and enjoying all of the herbiness and the wonderful slit in the side that if she has to fight, she can do that too. And I think she'll walk around not really knowing what to do or what to pick in this environment, having never been around such finery before, and not wanting to make a mistake, so she's going to kind of want to try to find something that maybe matches. So she'll kind of be wandering around the shop, looking at different things, seeing everybody else pick out their masks, and her eyes will kind of alight on just kind of back in the corner, some leaves sticking out that she sees, and she'll kind of reach back and pull the mask out that she chose, not only because it has leaves and herbs and that's very much her vibe, but she also kind of enjoys that it has kind of horns. Reminds her of someone that she hasn't seen in a while.
Cute.
Oh.
So cute.
Oh.
It's really cute.
I wonder who that could be.
Someone is pretty horny, I guess.
There it is.
Maybe.
God, that's so fun. Jade also, when she gets into this mask shop, aside from being delighted in that way that like you came into a shop that has so many things to look at, you don't know where to look at first, and looking over all the masks that she can, is also having in mind like the dress she just bought, and wanting to make sure she looks nice for Nariko and doesn't embarrass her, and wants something that is elegant, something that will make it not necessarily stand out, but something that will match and will go with what she has, what she's already bought for herself, and won't be too crazy. So she does put back the mask that has way too many colors, that really looks like someone threw a bunch of paint on it, but it was fun and cool. And she picks up this like metal filigreed mask that's got silver workings throughout, and it looks like the shape of a butterfly. And fun fact, I did not pick this out because of the picture that you picked out, Neville. Joe posted the thing about like, hey, get your masks, and I immediately went searching and found this one, and we both had butterflies on it.
I love it.
But she finds the butterfly one that reminds her of the carnival and getting her face painted with Nariko and her amulet that Nariko has given to her, and she knows immediately that this is the mask for her. And it also is very nice because it'll match her dress, and it'll be something that maybe Nariko will really like to see her in.
Yeah. So cute.
Would anybody else like to describe their mask or their mask picking process?
The professor walks through this shop almost uninterestedly. He's not sold on the idea of a masquerade, and he's doubly unsold on the idea of an entire town full of confirmed antagonists all taking part in this masquerade and putting Nariko up in a sort of pedestal in a entire place full of strangers that you can't see their faces, but he half-assed just sort of wanders through, and then something catches his eye, is this kitsune kabuki mask, where the forest where he's from is based in this kingdom, which is very much like the inspired by the kind of the Muromachi period of Japan, kind of like the Princess Mononoke era, where these are the types of masks that the humans of that kingdom often use in entertainment and rituals and whatnot. And this looks like it could have been imported from there or really knocked off really well. But he just looks at it and picks it up and smirks a little bit and says, "Yeah, all right." And, walk out with that in hand with little more to say about it.
Very nice.
I want to see the professor show up in like an entire kimono ensemble, just Just to be like, this is how we do in my festival. It's way better.
Nice.
He would have that coat on top of it.
Also, yes.
Professor gonna do a thing where he wears the mask just like sideways on his head.
Probably gonna cover his face, but do something silly like alter his face underneath it, just so like pull out the mask and there's another mask.
You would.
Quad glasses over or under the mask?
Oh,
No.
Mask.
Yes.
First of all, quad glasses on the mask. You take the mask
Oh
off.
my-
You Jackman cutout. Take that off. More glasses.
That
Quad
tracks.
yes.
He's got 4 of them, so he can wear them all.
Yep.
I love it.
Mm.
I've got a question for the DM.
Yes.
In this shop, do these all look like unique masks, or do some of them look mass produced?
For the most part, they are unique. The shop can also take requests and make to order. But there are some that are, I wouldn't say they're mass produced, but there are several that are they're like kind of templates that just have like different designs like painted on them. So you'll find some that are common, but a good number of these are unique.
And I'd also like to ask, are there any other like mask shops in the town? Like, do they have competition?
Yeah, so there is a bit of competition. There are other mask shops that are kind of dotted throughout. This one just happens to be the one that Marcus pointed out because it would be covered. This one seems to do a lot more custom work than the others. So if you go to any of the other smaller shops that are in town, that's where you'll find like more of like perhaps like the for lack of a better term, more of the like mass-produced kind of stuff.
Okay. So Reverie is going to go pick out a mask that is mostly plain, that can fit on whatever face she decides to wear, but does have like at least a unique feature so that if she needs to like become a different person for whatever reason, the party, specifically Jade, can like pick out who Reverie is.
That is completely doable.
Reverie as a changeling is so fun because even when she does decide to actually use her shapeshifting, she's very conscious that she wants to be able to be recognized no matter what, which is like self-defeating, but also very much in character.
So you'll spend some time in the shop. The people working here are helpful in helping you pick out your masks and helping you design if you have any custom designs in mind. And you can have your masks ready within a short turnaround time. So by the time you are done in this mask shop, it's getting on to be late afternoon. And kind of as you make your way out, I think it's around the time that Marcus will come and find you.
Marcus,
Oh, great. He didn't get kidnapped. That's
Ooh.
wonderful.
Not.
point for
How many black eyes
him.
do you have?
Oh, come on. He's only got 2 eyes. It can't be that many.
Oh, well, he's got 1 or 2.
So I think he catches you as you guys are leaving the mask shop. And he approaches you with a smile and kind of comes up to you, Naruko, and he does like the kiss on both cheeks greeting. And he says, "Oh, yeah, I see you've made it to the mask shop yet. hopefully you found what you all were looking for.
Indeed. We will all be quite ready to be at our best for the upcoming gala.
Oh, wonderful.
You look pleased with yourself?
Well, and he kind of like does that thing where he like brushes off his shoulder a little bit. And he says, I think I'm getting the hang of this adventuring thing a little bit.
Oh, do tell.
Well, so I went to the Temple of Joaquin, and our golden dragonborn friend that I found, that we saw in the crowd there, it turns out he is actually part of the temple. He's a counter there. And actually, you guys give me a religion check. Whoever wants to.
Anyone?
Anyway.
There it is.
Sure.
Yep.
I'm still trying to figure out what the fuck a counter is.
Okay, normally religion is not my thing, but Naruto's on the ball today. That is a
Only a
24.
12. Only a 12 for Jade.
15, I'm not mad.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna use an inspiration on that. No, I'm not. It's even important enough. I'll wait.
I would say I think a 10 is enough. If you have a 10 or better, I think you would know
Yay.
in the Temple of Joaquin, a counter is like a step like above altar boy, but below priest, like kind of within that range.
So like an acolyte, or?
Red notes. Poser.
Good enough to help with celebrating like any kind of mass or anything like that, but not good enough to lead it on their own yet. But also that they're also known to kind of do some of the more like administrative stuff around the temple, like making sure that the candles are in place and making sure that everything is looking tidy, and they're responsible for collecting like the donation boxes, like that sort of stuff.
Inflated sense of self-worth. Got it.
So
Damn, Ren, you were just kind of a jerk.
cynical. So he goes on to say, yeah, our dragonborn friend is a counter in the temple. So it seems that his information might be good, although no one really seems to know the particular identities of whoever's meeting down in the crypt, or what their affiliation is with whoever might be entombed down there. But as our dragonborn friend said, they tend to come in with cloaks and masks. They come in at night, and they meet regularly twice a month and on special occasions. And the rumor is that they may show up again on the night of the regatta, because they can move with everyone wearing masks and costumes. They can move around pretty freely, and no one would notice that sort of thing moving around.
Has no one at the temple tried to confront these trespassers, or are they not even considered trespassers?
It seems they're not even considered trespassers. They feel if they have the means to get into the crypt that they belong there.
Are they just entering into the annex that you showed us, or are they going all the way into the crypts proper, past the big spike for bloodying yourself? She looks somewhat not pleased with that particular system. It's very unsanitary.
That information seems to not be as clear, because no one really thinks to check up on them if they already have access to the crypt, and they know that that our family tombs are behind that bit of security. So I think they just assume if they're supposed to be there, then they can be there.
This information seems to be presented in a much less sinister light in your testimony than what we were getting from the counter himself. Was there anyone else at the temple who seemed concerned about what the practices of these mysterious fellows would be?
Well, given the time of day that they show up, it's usually very late at night. There's not a whole lot of there's not a whole lot of
Security.
yes, security. There's not a whole lot of security around. Just kind of enough to keep the lights on and make sure the candles don't burn the place down.
Naruto is very surprised that a temple whose main concern is the acquisition of money does not have high investments in security for the likely many valuables stored within their temple.
They lock stuff up at night. It's fine.
Complacency is their greatest enemy.
I mean,
There is an active crime syndicate in this city. It is common knowledge at this point.
It's true.
Naruto just thinking like, okay, so these people need some Arby's whenever we start producing like badly. Be sure to sell to them. Okay, well, that is good to know. We have a little bit more information on where they are meeting, if not precisely why, and a time to potentially catch them in the act. Nefariousness remains to be seen, exactly how far that goes. But they probably have either a nobility among them or have acquired signet rings or bypasses to make use of the crypt, and so are not questioned.
that is the gist of it.
Alright, that is about as comprehensive as intelligence as I was hoping for, and it is actionable. You get a passing grade, good sir. Love it.
Marcus gets.
Ren is actually honest, just impressed that Marcus didn't argue. Oh no, there's no way they could duplicate our family rings. Ren's just like so proud. He's like, okay, he's growing. Small half a point.
I held myself back from having Naruto like pat him on the head and offer him a treat, but
I know, right? So hard. Listen, Ren already gave him an apple today. Okay, we're done with treats.
that's like a holy communion as far as Ren is concerned.
Fucking no, right?
So based on that, we could still pop by Madame Celeste, give her reassurance that we are pretty suitably on the trail of where her missing apprentice is, but maybe ask her if she knows of any nobles who, or herself, who suffered a theft of one of her signet rings. Just as make it seem as though that's part of our ongoing investigation, which it kind of is. And that may give us a clue whether or not it's bona fide nobility or subterfuge for those getting into the crypts. So one more clue in the bucket, but that's about all the rest I can think to do with that for the moment. Any other thoughts?
Oh,
No,
that
sounds
sounds
quite reasonable.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, heading over to back to Madame Celeste. So you let her know that you're still on the trail. She's a little bit frazzled at this point because now she's been, another day or two without her apprentice, and the orders are backing up, especially with the regatta
no.
coming up and the wedding. She is very pleased to hear that you are still on the trail, but will assure you that it's fine. Take your time, please. Just make sure that you get Sophia back safe.
Take your time, but also don't take your time.
Thank you
Your
very
time,
much.
but I need this
Time.
now.
You got time. You got 5 minutes, but take your time.
Naruto is not going to tell her that like the best case scenario is we rescue her tonight from like the den of the Red Hoods, because she has no guarantee of that.
Yeah.
That's not gonna go
No
well,
fun.
anyways.
Ugh.
If I was an evil capitalist, I would use this opportunity to say, we do have an upcharge for expedited service.
It's always Look, live cargo is harder to transport, so.
That's Mirror Universe, Naruko.
Also, did you want to get the insurance package? Sometimes there's bumps
Just
and such in transit, and we are
Accidents.
not liable.
As far as
Yeah,
asking,
if you got your item and there were problems with it, like I'm sorry, we're not responsible. You got to call the manufacturer for that one.
Mom?
um, as far as asking her about any known thefts or anything of the signet rings, she looks almost surprised at the question, and she looks at Marcus and then back to y'all. She says, "No, those signet rings are well, they wouldn't be stolen from us for sure. Those signet rings are made to order from scratch by myself and Sophia. Um, they're this is the only place that we're the only jewelry makers in town that make them. They're special for the noble families here, as Marcus would be able to tell you. Um,
Of course.
as far as I
Certainly.
know, there haven't been any thefts from the families themselves, but you would have to ask them, and honestly, I'm not sure they would give you an honest answer, even if there was."
Well, that's why I asked you, because if they needed them replaced, you're the only person they could go to.
She kind of blinks a bit, clearly didn't consider that, and she says, "I guess that makes sense. Well, in that case, I haven't received any orders for any replacements lately, no."
Lovely.
Madam Celeste, I have a question. And you're the only jeweler in town who makes them. Is it because you're the only one capable of making them? Are they made a special way?
Trade secrets, my dear. I'm afraid I can't give out much more than that, but I do have an exclusive contract with the Goldwaters, the Belmontes, and the Doros to make their rings.
So no one else could try to make one.
Not in the way that we make them, no.
Naruko just sort of nods and says, yes, The Soul of Artifice, or whatever the name of that book that we found.
She kind of blinks and looks at you, Naruko, and she says, "Where did you get that from?"
Naruko gives a smile and says, "Well, I am an artificer in trade myself, but that particular turn of phrase was present among some of the materials that your apprentice had left behind in her dwelling."
Ah, I see. Well, I suppose if you had gone there to investigate, that would make sense that you would have seen such materials.
If someone were to use a ring that had been made not in your trade secrets, would it just not work, or would there be some sort of repercussion?
It should just not work.
Naruko is mentally going to add that it's very possible the apprentice, if captured by the Red Hoods, could have been made to create these rings for their usage. She will not say this out loud. At least not in front of this lady who's already frazzled enough.
Not right now. We'll talk later.
Yeah. Also, Naruko is internally scoffing at the idea that she could not crack the secret of these fancy rings, but that's just personal pride. Okay. Well, we thank you very much for your testimony and information. Again, right now, the recovery of your apprentice is our top priority, and we will be going to further efforts tonight that will hopefully bear fruit, if nothing else, to at least confirm her whereabouts, even if we are not able to extract her just yet.
Well, do be careful out there. I appreciate all the hard work that you're putting in.
Just doing things the Mystic Mechanicus way. And then Naruko's done with investigating here, unless anyone else thought of a interesting question or theory.
Mm-mm.
Nope.
All right.
Do we need to like go back to the villa and like sleep and get a rest before we do more nighttime shenanigans, or it's, how much daylight do we have left before we gotta start doing stakeout stuff?
I say you've got about another 3 to 4 hours before full sundown. So you're probably at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon at this point.
Okay. Naruko turns to the group. Is there any other errands to be run or places in town we wish to see?
Mm-mm.
I don't have anything. But did you and Marcus maybe want to go on a dinner together so you have a little bit of time to be alone?
Naruko seemed surprised for a second because she was absolutely going to suggest that if no one had anything else to do. So she sort of like clears the throat, like, well, if there wasn't anything else pertinent, a little bit of free time without business to attend to would be a welcome respite.
Well, I think you two deserve it. Like, Marcus had a lot of adventuring all on his own today, and we did a lot of shopping and also helping people.
Yeah. Naruko will sort of turn to Marcus and say, well then, sir, my date idea was traipsing about town, playing investigator. I think then it's your turn to suggest an activity for us to partake in to get to know each other better.
He kind of grins a bit, and he says, well, it just so happens that there is... It's the strangest coincidence. I don't think it was planned, but they're performing A Midsummer Night's Dream at the Tremonto Unified Performing Arts Center tonight. Perhaps we catch a show and dinner?
Yes, you are very deeply involved with the theater, and I've been terribly selfish in having you indulge in my hobbies. I think it only fair. This was a play that he talked about in his letters before, right?
Yes.
Yes. So, I'd be curious to see you gave me a wonderful description, but performances are meant to be experienced, not described.
Yes, I agree. It's a fantastic show. The costumes, the scenery, the sets, the acting, of course. It's all. It feels very magical, and it feels like you're being transported to someplace crazy and whimsical.
All right. Naruko will accept the offer to go have that be a little bit of a date evening before more adventures happen.
Jade is going to turn to Reverie and just say, Reverie, do you want to come with me to go to the big bridge? It looks really pretty and we can watch the sunset.
Yeah, I'd like to do that.
Before Naruko leaves, Jade will just lean in to give her a kiss on the cheek and say, have fun, and let us know if you get into any trouble.
Sorry, I had to step away for a second. Jade said had fun.
Oh yeah, so
Definitely.
Jade kissed Naruko's cheek before she left and just says, have fun, and let us know if you get into any trouble.
Indeed. Twin notes on vibrate. Answer called. Buddy system.
She'll hold up her journal. I've got it right here. I'll keep it with me.
All right.
And then she'll take Reverie's hand.
All right.
Okay.
So, Marcus and Narka will split off for date night. Brutus will be Marcus's chaperone for the evening.
Well on our way to a polycule thing happening. So.
As the custom dictates.
Just wow, what a romantic evening. Just you, me, and your 6'7" orc bodyguard between us.
We share everything.
Who would Nariko choose as her chaperone, assuming she picks one? Arby.
Arby.
I was about to say, don't forget Arby sitting, like standing about 15 feet off in the distance, just glaring at people that come too close.
Yeah.
Basically.
He's got attachment for everything.
I think Nariko has programmed Arby with more like social grace and manners than Brutus has. Let's be honest.
Also true.
So Arby is like a default chaperone for Nariko, but if literally anyone in the party wants to volunteer for that for whatever reason, she'll accept it. Except for Syrian. Syrian's not high enough rank to be a chaperone for that's just more baggage for her to look after.
Ren can do math, and he's starting to see that if everyone else is pairing off, he's gonna be stuck with the professor, and he's not dealing with that crazy again. He's gonna go volunteer to be chaperone.
Ooh.
Please tell us we got box seats in the front with my big ass horns.
Just a lovely evening out at the theater. Just Ren, Arby, and Brutus just looming behind these two little noble kids who are just
Absolutely.
excited about the little play.
Ain't nobody fucking with them.
Red, sitting in the crowd, come on. Marcus has his own luxury box.
Yeah.
Excellent.
seriously.
Do they come
Ren
with
has
apple
those little-
teenies?
Ren has those little, like, dainty, like, tiny binoculars that he holds up every now and again.
I get
This is acceptable.
Those look functional.
Those look functional. And just holding them there, this is pleasant.
He might actually like that.
Apple teas aplenty.
Yes, alright, Ren's in.
Full bar service.
And this is why you
Yeah.
need Arby to be the second chaperone, because Ren's going to be wasted at the end of the night.
I don't know what you're talking about. I have 2 stomachs. I can take it.
Full charcuterie. Anything you want. Yeah.
Love it. Let's go. Cheese and apples? Oh, let's go. Ren might
I
not
love
think this
the
town is so bad.
I love the idea of Ren being white girl wasted on apple teenies. I think that's
Would.
fucking brilliant.
Is Ren a woo girl?
I don't know. I guess we're gonna have to see if he likes to play.
Fucking roll it. Do rollies. See if Ren's a fucking woo girl.
Alright. Let's see what we got here. We'll roll D100. You know, I always go low. Oh, you get him drunk enough, he sure as hell is a woo girl.
Fuck yes.
Nice.
Yes!
Take a few more apple teenies, friends.
Woo it on Puck the whole time.
Woo!
Lorelai
I
hates
cannot believe how hard they had to work to get these mortals together.
I
Yay.
look
Should see the obvious. Sorry.
I look forward to finding out if this is indeed like Shakespeare's Midsummer Night's Play, or if it's a recounting of our time where we went to go beat the shit out of Titania, or if it's some sort of ungodly mashup of the two stories.
I think it's an ungodly mashup of the two stories.
Yes. That's
I
that is what it is.
I don't think I ever had Puck show up in my session though.
We did not. That's unfortunate.
Which is why it's a mashup of this play.
Okay. Gotta have Puck.
Who are the couples that he's coupling off? Because they all get drugged, apparently, on their way to kill
Usually it
Titania.
goes-
The story opens with Titania getting
Well,
slaughtered halfway through.
The actor playing Puck looks suspiciously like Galadriel.
Yeah, he does.
Which is
How's
hilarious,
moonlighting?
because that man is Changeling.
like he could choose to not resemble his actual
Definitely.
most well-known form. He
Why
decided
does that?
no.
Why does that Spader look suspiciously like Cadriel? Just a chorus of yeah.
We find out this whole play was actually written by Galadriel under a pen name,
Shake.
which is some sort of roundabout method of annoying Lorelai somehow.
Absolutely.
Yes, she hates this play.
I'm sure she does.
Why don't we? So for the next couple of hours, we could, if there's anything that you guys would like to play out, we can do that, or we can yada yada through the next couple of hours until date night is over. So if there's anything that you would like to do during this time, we can certainly play that out, or just fast forward. Completely up to you guys.
I will want to, even if we don't role play it out as a whole thing, I will want some description of how the play and the dinner go.
Yeah, I want to know too. You can think about it. You got 5 minutes, but you can think about it.
I gotta gauge what this man's tastes are and if they are acceptable.
Mm.
The scorecard is comprehensive.
Yeah.
It's a 100-point Scantron scorecard.
Ren is helping to keep score.
Guys, we split the party again. We
split
just
the
had a
party
kidnapping
3
attempt
ways
last night.
again. Did we all forget that Reverie almost got kidnapped last night? Apparently, yes, because we just went off by ourselves again. Jade seems
no problem.
Nope.
seems oddly
Yuki didn't forget. Yuki didn't forget, but she's tired of doing Watchdog and being treated like a piece of crap. So she's like, you want to go? Bye.
That was so long ago.
It was like a whole 12 hours ago.
Gosh, I love it.
I'll go ahead and place everybody where you're going.
Yeah.
We've gone so many sessions without combat. I'm starting to be that like Second Amendment's right guy, just being like, oh, I wish a fucker would.
We just split the party. They're gonna.
Yeah, that's about right.
We split the party 3 ways again, guys.
We have our twin notes this time. They might even work.
We had our twin notes before. We just were in places they didn't do anything.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They might work now.
Might work now. Also, Jade did take sending specifically for this scenario after last night. I don't have anything specific in mind for Jade and Reverie, but she does want to have just like a nice like sunset with Reverie. She feels like they haven't gotten to spend a lot of time together lately, and it's been a very nice day. And she feels great after being able to help someone for the first time in so long, it seems. Not that they haven't helped people, but like they didn't have to fight anyone, and they were actually able to help a person without anything bad happening so far. And she wants to take Reverie out for like dinner on this bridge, like to one of those little cafes on the bridge that we can sit at and have like snacks and watch the sunset on the water.
Very nice.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
You hear that, evildoers? Stay away. We're having like a nice peaceful evening.
Right?
Yeah,
it's every time we try to have a nice peaceful moment, and then suddenly like a letter from Marcus shows up, or a frog tries to eat Reverie, or a duck tries to eat Reverie, or a pirate ship tries to something's trying to eat Reverie. 98% of the time we're trying to have a moment alone.
That's unfortunate.
If Jade could get past first base, maybe we could have a different kind of way that works, but that's not happening.
Mm.
You just need more practice.
I'll also have
Siren song.
many kisses.
Does Jade want to go past first base?
She has not yet.
Second base is holding hands.
Second base is holding hands. My base list is also very extensive.
18th base.
What game are we playing?
18th base is like you get to touch something over the close. So we're on base
Um,
like 4 now with missing.
I know we just have a few moments left, but is there anything that Yuki and Professor would like to do or talk about as you guys reach the Sailor's Haven?
I think the professor is going to be fairly quiet. He'll order up some drinks for the three of them and just sit in a little, a booth kind of off to the side and just not have much to say for the first time in a while.
I think being conflicted about leaving Jade and Reverie and Naruko not unprotected but alone, it does not make Yuki feel very comfortable. But she does not feel wanted around Jade, so she was not going to stay on watchdog duty. So she's pretty conflicted about that. So she will probably also be pretty pensive, pretty quiet, just drinking her drink and mulling things.
Syrian just looking awkwardly between the two of them.
Oh yeah.
I was
Yep.
about to say, oh geez, you're making Mousetrap have to shoulder the burden of keeping a pleasant conversation going.
Oh yeah.
I love that's his fucking name now.
Oh yeah.
Fate.
Little mousetrap.
So on a
You-
6, I don't think he catches the vibe.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Yes.
And,
Don't worry, the goblins would have caught it. And him.
I don't think he catches the vibe, so I think he's happily chattering away about, man, wasn't it cool when we saw this or we did that, and then you guys helped that person out. It just kind of like going on and on. This is the most action he's clearly seen in a while. Oh my god, he's Reggie Jr.
I think Yuki will make like polite like grunts and yep. She'll like kind of do that responding so that he's not just chattering at the side of her head and getting nothing back. I think even in her preoccupied mind, she still would want to not let him feel left out. So I think she would still be like passively responding, if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So, with the party split up for the rest of the late afternoon, early evening, I believe that is where we're going to leave things. Until next week.
Yay. Dun dun dun.
Bum, bum, bum.
Nice.
Next time, 3 kidnappings.
Ain't gonna be my charge.
They can fucking
Naruko?
fly.
Noriko and Marcus are guarded by people that I don't want to fight. So that leaves Reverie getting kidnapped.
Yeah.
Possible. But she had a long rest. She's got fuck off and just can bolt out of there. So that leaves Jade, which also can just do the fuck off thing. So obviously Syrian's getting kidnapped on his way to the bar to go get more drinks for them, and they're like, man,
That tracks.
it's been a while since Mousetrap's come up, and it's just 3 kobolds in a trench coat just holding him at like stick point because they don't even have a knife.
And he's just sitting there going, not again.
And they're like, this is what we have to deal with, and then we get regaled
God
with that
damn it.
epic
Syrian
trial.
begging, like, look, you can take all the money or whatever. Just please, please, please don't tell Mystic Mechanicus this is how it happened.
I can't.
Don't
I just
tell them.
cannot.
I can't deal with it again.
They already call me Mousetrap.
3 kobolds in a trench coat.
God,
Nope.
that song was so freaking fun.
That was really cute.
I can't believe that man. So fun.
So since we have not fully switched over to 2024 rules yet, I will still be doing 2 inspirations for now.
Yay!
So
Hmm.
nominations.
I like Jade describing how she's using Friend Void to
Yeah.
reduce
Yeah.
addiction in the populace.
Oh yeah, it's only gonna get better. And by that I mean strap in. Also, I already have 2, so I can't take
Ooh,
any more.
Yuki and the berries to help calm down the lady. That was well done.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
good.
I was my nominations were gonna go to Yuki tonight for just like, hey, make sure that we like get if we're gonna do this, we do this right. Like let's have a plan. And like got some tea ready to go and like is just there waiting to see what needs to be done so she can handle it if the worst case scenario happens. And then I also really liked Ren tonight with just the commentary. The buddy cop movie with Professor, as always, going on was great. Trying to like wrap his head around why are we shopping again? What is happening here?
Doing it.
And then making me do this. Fine. Why can't you all just pick something and leave? And then going, no, I can't. I absolutely cannot be alone with him one more day for right now. I'm gonna go watch Naruto and make sure she doesn't get kidnapped.
Yep.
That's gonna be mine. And then my third one was going to be for Professor for kind of almost the same thing, for being like, what the fuck is happening? You need to chill out to Jade, and also like being suspicious of what Jade was doing, and then trying to contain that with like, what do I do to navigate this, and also keep the back and forth with Ren just on the various conversations they had tonight.
I like that Professor picked up that Jade used the void, but he didn't say shit.
Mm-hmm.
I like that he kept that to himself. He was like, huh, alright, okay.
I also like that Professor was like, maybe we could go talk to that drug dealer again, but you're not going, Yuki, and neither am I.
Yeah, the self-awareness of that one was like, yeah, we're not gonna do that.
You know, that was some pretty serious character growth, having self-awareness at all. Let's give props to that.
Lots of self-awareness.
To
You just
be
choose-
fair, sorry, go ahead.
He's not as dumb as Yuki wishes he was.
Damn.
There's a very thick veneer that he can't quite get past. Of this is what it looks like versus this is what he is.
Mm-hmm.
I again, to be fair to Professor immediately was like, we don't have to do this. When it was going down the last time, and he was just like, well, it's happening, so okay.
All happening.
He strongly suggested not doing it, but buddy system.
Buddy system.
Buddy system.
Sometimes I have a triplet system. You got Syrian now.
Sad.
Who's
no more
Syrian's
Triceratops
buddy?
noses.
That might actually make it better.
I'm going to bed. You all have a good night.
Oh, good
Good night.
night.
My bad.
Love you all.
Love you.
Syrian's buddy is Jeffrey.
No.
Syrian's buddy is
Oh.
Jade.
Feed him.
Syrian's
Oh
gonna
my
get
God.
possessed with Jeffrey.
Gosh, he's gonna get possessed.
Oh my
Yeah, what's
god.
Jeffrey doing right now?
Fantastic. I don't
On
know.
his Pokeball.
Is Jeffrey hanging out or is he in his Pokeball?
Jeffrey's been in his Pokeball pretty much the entire time we've been in this city.
He got grounded.
He's grounded.
Poor Jeffrey just wants to eat some strawberries.
He can make his own.
You can make him his own strawberries.
Yeah, well,
He's
they're not
fine.
as delicious inside his Pokeball.
Pulls them from
Oh
the
my
strawberry
gosh.
dimension.
The
Strawberry
extra
nut.
planer, the plane of strawberries.
The plane of strawberries.
Mhm.
The elemental plane of strawberry. Also known
Listen,
as,
when you find the
the
elemental
strawberry
plane of
fields
apples,
of
let me
forever.
know.
Alright, guys, I am actually exhausted. I'm going to go to bed as well.
No.
I know. I have
You are
Yeah,
welcome.
I'm gonna peace out too.
I'll allow it, I guess.
Dang.
Good night,
Oh,
guys.
Allison,
Bye.
wait, we still have your hot sauce.
I know you do. Emma Sicker.
I unpacked it immediately, put it on my counter, and then like I have not brought it. It's just sitting there on my counter. I was like, "Fuck, I gotta bring this to Allison." And then I go to work, and I'm like, "I forgot another day." And I'm just like, "Ah, motherfucker, it's still right here."
It's fine. I've been working
you're-
like crazy this week anyway. It's all
I
good.
know. We all have. It's fine. But just let you know, I do have it. It did survive. It is
Perfect.
intact and it's good.
Nice. All right.
Yeah, okay.
I'll be for my boss next week. He'll deal
Yeah,
with it.
okay. Yeah.
All right. Love you. Good night.
Love you. Good night.
Good night. Good night.
Goodbye.